Ever wondered what really happens when you delete the DPF on your diesel truck? I mean, not the sales pitch. The real-life difference. More power, better mileage, crazy smoke shows, or a world of regret and legal nightmares. Today, we're diving deep into the DPF delete before and after reality. The good, the bad, the boost, the blowback, everything. And hey, if you've got experience with a DPF delete or you're this close to doing it, drop a comment below. I want to hear your story. Alright, let's start from scratch for those that are new here. DPF stands for diesel particulate filter. It's part of your diesel truck's emissions system. Its job, traps soot and other particulate matter before it gets pumped out your tailpipe. Sounds noble, right? Cleaner air, healthier lungs, happy earth. But here's the catch, DPFs can clog up, they can reduce performance, and they can become a headache if you're not doing regular long-distance drives or towing loads that keep temps high enough to burn off that soot. That's why a lot of truck owners end up asking the question, should I delete my DPF? And what happens after I do? But before we go full send on that delete pipe, let's take a quick peek at life before the delete. If you've got a newer diesel truck, say anything post 2007, you're living that emissions life. DPF, EGR, DEF. The holy trinity of EPA compliance. So what's life like before a delete? 1. Regens. Your truck tries to clean itself with a process called regeneration. That's when it burns off the soot in the DPF. It can happen passively while driving, or actively when the computer says, hey, we're too dirty, let's get cooking. During this, your fuel economy drops, power feels sluggish, and the truck can feel like it's working harder than it should. 2. Poor fuel economy. One of the most common complaints, especially from guys who tow or use their truck as a daily, is fuel mileage. A healthy deleted truck often sees better MPG than one stuck in regen cycles. 3. Restricted exhaust flow. That DPF creates back pressure. Your engine's breathing through a straw, especially as soot builds up. That limits performance, and who wants a choked-out diesel? 4. Maintenance costs. DPFs can crack, sensors can fail, and replacements aren't cheap. I've heard stories of $2,000 to $5,000 for full replacements. Quick question for my diesel friends, have you ever had to replace a DPF or deal with failed regens? Type, regen rage, in the comments if you've been there. Let's build a support group. What happens during a DPF delete? Now let's talk about the moment of truth, the delete. When you delete a DPF, you're removing the filter from your exhaust system. But it's not just a bolt-on, bolt-off job. You also need to tune the ECU, your truck's brain, so it doesn't freak out when the DPF is gone. What typically gets deleted? The DPF itself. The EGR system, exhaust gas recirculation. Sometimes DEF components, diesel exhaust fluid. And with that, tons of sensors. You install a straight pipe or performance exhaust, tune the ECU, and now your truck is free. But what does that freedom actually feel like? Life after the DPF delete. Let's break it down into what really changes after a delete. 1. Power and throttle response. Deleted trucks usually gain horsepower and torque, anywhere from 30 to 100 HP depending on the tune and supporting mods. But it's not just numbers, it feels snappier. Throttle response improves, turbo lag drops, and the truck just wants to go. 2. Fuel economy. This one varies. Some folks see a 2 to 4 mpg gain. Others, more. Especially if you're towing or doing a lot of highway driving. Why? Because you're no longer dumping fuel into the system during regens or fighting back pressure. 3. Sound. Let's be honest, one of the first things you notice is the sound. That deep growl, the turbo whistle, it's music. Some love it, others say it's too loud, especially in the cab. Your call. 4. Maintenance savings. No more DEF refills, no more regen issues, no more DPF sensor codes. Maintenance becomes simpler and cheaper. That's a huge plus for fleets and work trucks. 5. Smoke output. Now here's the controversial part. Some deleted trucks smoke like it's 2003 again. But with the right tune, smoke can be minimal. Still, don't be that guy rolling coal at every stoplight. That's how we lose the right to even have this discussion. Have you done a DPF delete? Or are you thinking about it? Drop a comment. Team deleted, or still stock, and let's see where the community stands. The legal and ethical side. Alright, here's where it gets serious. In many places, including the US and Canada, DPF deletes are illegal for on-road vehicles. The EPA has cracked down hard on shops and tuners offering deletes. Fines can be massive, and yeah, you might pass a roadside check once or twice, until you don't. State inspections, emissions testing, or selling the vehicle later. It can get messy. So what are your options? Off-road or race-only vehicles? These are typically exempt. So if you've got a farm truck or competition rig, you've got more flexibility. Tuning for cleaner deletes. Some tuners offer clean tunes that remove emission systems but keep smoke minimal and performance gains reasonable. DPF-friendly performance upgrades. There are now performance DPFs and tunes that optimize your stock setup without breaking laws. If you do delete, keep all your stock parts. You might need to reinstall them if laws change, inspections pop up, or you sell the truck. What's your take? Are deletes worth the legal risk? Or should we be finding smarter ways to keep performance and emissions in check? Let me know below. DPF delete before and after. Real-life stories. Let's take a second to highlight some real-world before and after stories from the diesel community. 1. John from Texas 2015 Ram 2500. Before the delete. Constant regen issues, truck limped during towing, average 12 mpg. After the delete. More power on hills, 17 mpg, no def needed. Says it's a night and day difference. 2. Mike in Alberta 2016 Duramax. Before. Was spending hundreds on DPF repairs every year. After. Truck sounds better, runs smoother, and he saved thousands. 3. Sarah in Pennsylvania 2020 Powerstroke. Still stock. She uses her truck for business and doesn't want to mess with emissions laws. Said the newer systems are better and her regen issues are minimal. Have a story? Drop it in the comments or shoot me a DM, I might feature it in the next video. Should you delete your DPF? This one's personal. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but here are some questions to ask yourself. Do you drive long distances or short city trips? Are you using your truck for work or play? Are you okay with potentially failing inspections or voiding warranties? Do you live in an emissions-regulated state? If you're off-road, rural, or part of a fleet that's bleeding money on DPF issues, it might make sense. But if you're daily driving in a city with emissions laws and you're under warranty, think twice. Would you ever delete your DPF? Why or why not? Let's get a conversation going below. I read every single comment. Alright diesel friends, that's a wrap on our deep dive into DPF delete before and after. Hopefully, this helped you get a clearer picture of what life really looks like on both sides of the delete. If you learned something new today, hit that like button, it really helps the channel. And if you want more real talk about diesel mods, engine tips, and performance tuning, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, we're talking about EGR delete kits. Do they actually help, or are they just snake oil? Don't miss it, and remember, whether you're rolling stock or rolling coal, keep your truck clean, tuned, and running strong.